So this last week has been a bit of a slap in the face. I've had 3 team members quit, my ads have been tanking, and I've got meetings back to back to back, but I still somehow have a business that operates quite functionally and still prints 7 figures. And if you're on YouTube to watch kind of this artificial entrepreneur lifestyle with the Bugattis, the yacht girls, and everything else that comes with it, you're watching the wrong video. But if you want to see what it's actually like building an 8-figure company, even when things go wrong, then hold tight, because it's messy, it's real, and it's very stressful at times. So come and raw dog a week in the life with me of what that really looks like.
Someday, I wanna.
Over the last couple of years, I've changed so much as a person. I went from being a loser, an undisciplined and egotistical teenager to what I feel like is, in the short period of time, grown into a man, no longer a boy. Being in Club Closer, learning sales and working with everyone here has taught me so much. It's taught me to have humility. I remember after 1 month working here, I filmed a podcast with one of my friends down here, and the title was like, being top 1% income earner in South Africa after I'd made like no money. And I remember a week later, Marcus dropped me this crazy message, and I pasted him here. He's like, said, in all honesty, you're fucking lazy. Not sure the first time. Not the first time I brought this to your attention, and the other boys are aware of it too. You're the least hardworking on this team right now, and I do everything I can to fix that if I were you. Not for my sake, but for your own. You're moving into your own flat and you're jumping on podcasts talking about internet money, yet you're not stepping up to being that person, which really, in that moment was like, wow, I'm still a small fish. You got to be humble and,
Yeah, I can be a prick.
I was like, but it was good. It taught me to be humble, and being arrogant doesn't serve you in any way. Being here has taught me that discipline, consistency, and hard work beats all talent. Working in sales and facing all the ups and downs has also taught me that, when shit's going bad, you need to work even harder because good things are just around the corner. Being here has also taught me to be completely self-accountable for my actions. Thanks to the people on the team, altering my mindset over the years from being not self-accountable, always being that guy who's always first to point a finger at something else, blame other things, and never be accountable for the results I was getting. Being its Club Closer has taught me, to always improve my inputs and change what I'm doing if I want to get a desired result. There's so many lessons I've learned here, and I'm grateful for this company and what it's allowed me to do and set myself up for bigger things. It's allowed me to move out the house, build amazing friendships, build a strong network that I hope will serve me for a long time, and ultimately, like I mentioned before, just turn from like a boy into a man.
Yeah,
Yes,
Yeah, right back at you, Seb. Really appreciate all the effort, and yeah, I think you're going to go on to do great things, man. I got no doubt on that. I didn't realise I was so cutthroat with you at times, though. I feel like maybe I need to bring that back.
Yeah, I mean, I had like 4 different messages I could paste in, but that was the best one in my opinion. Like, you're on podcast talking all big, but you're not the man that you say you are, some shit like that.
I think it's safe to say you're definitely that man now, bro. So I won't take credit for that message being a part of that, but all the work you put in the last couple of years is definitely attributed to that, more so than anything. Massively appreciate you, and yeah, super proud of everything you've achieved. I mean, yeah, both you and Seb, like, obviously it sucks you're leaving the team, but like, I couldn't be prouder of the people you become, and yeah, the fact we've given you kind of this platform that's then launch padded you into doing much bigger things down the line, which is I guess the core reason I set the company up in the first place. Right, busy day. Just spent another 11 hours behind my desk, which will be the 5th or 6th day in a row. Yeah, man, lots of changes going on. Lots of as you saw from that team call, we had a couple guys leave the team that we were expecting, and then directly after that we had another team member leave. I kind of spoke about it a few weeks ago, and you're seeing this staggered, but it's just part of growing, part of the business. You grow something in the wrong way, people lose sight of the vision and whatever, and obviously it's my job to relight that vision within the team. In terms of like the delivery of our client, never fucking been better. Never been better. We're pumping result. But just in terms of team morale, this is part of it. And I'm now in a position where we're building everything from the ground up. And I actually had a really good conversation this weekend with a friend who I reached out to for advice. And what he basically said was, sometimes you have to do the unscalable work in order to scale. And it resonated with me because obviously I've been, I guess, not out of the trenches, but you move somewhere like this, you move to Dubai, and it kind of looks like you're in your little penthouse, you're in your Dubai little princess tower, but reality is I've never been working harder, and I need to demonstrate that to the team in order to get them fired back up. But it's good. It's really lit a fire back inside me that I'm like, I haven't felt for quite some time, because things have been going so well, and it's often, you need times like this to appreciate the good times and give you room to reflect, that breathing room to then push back up. And I'm pretty sure I said a lot of this in the last week's video, so if I did, Fred, please cut this out. But really good day, feeling incredibly fulfilled, and just working on the vision every single day. And I'll touch on the rest of this video, kind of how I guess align myself when things aren't going so well, what I do to recenter and make sure I'm still working in the right way, instead of, a lot of people have bad things happen and they start operating out of scarcity. They start doing knee-jerk reactions and trying to fix things like within a week, when in reality, like if you're trying to build an empire, you can't build it in a week. Things take time, and that's kind of where we're at right now. We're just playing with the time we've got and making sure in the process we're making everything work. But yeah, it's funny. I moved into this apartment quite a while ago, and about 4 months. And the only thing I've done since I've moved here in terms of decor is putting my fucking bike on the wall, which is not good. I need to put a bit more effort in. I bought these shelves to put up on the wall, and I've had them sat by the door since they got delivered for 3 weeks, I think. So what time is it right now? It's like 8:30, and I just decided, fuck it, let me build these shelves. But I'll get someone to hang them up because I don't trust myself. But yeah, not super glamorous. It's weird because my girlfriend is currently back in London, and oftentimes I only use her as my outlet to relax. So when she's not here, I find myself in the evenings just being like, what the hell do I do? I end up working, I end up eating all my meals at my desk. Which, man, to be honest, I really enjoy. As lame as that sounds. I got a bike ride tomorrow morning, so I'm going to prep for that, get all my shit ready, and then, honestly, head to bed. I guess I'm just trying to get more comfortable speaking to this camera, and I don't even know if this is relevant or interesting, but I feel like someone's got to give you the reality of, trying to scale to 8 figures as fast as possible. Cool. All right then. I guess I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Ever starts to wonder why all the rain and all
putting in a 3PL in the UK, I just want to flag a couple things in regards to that. That is going to fairly dramatically change your profit margin as it stands initially. Great benefit of the e-com flow is that everything is baked into their shipping costs. It's a really, really lean and efficient way to drive every single order that you sell get profit on every single, or be profitable from the jump.
So, I mean, from the conversations me and Lucy have, we're pretty hell-bent on launching the business anyway, regardless whether we can do it with Ecom Flow or if it's a case of us having to be resourceful and ultimately spend more time learning about the industry and how that would work with a 3PL. Lucy's actually worked at 3PLs before in a previous business she had. Alright, the plan was to do a run outside this morning, but as you can see, I can't see anything. The air quality here is too bad. I think there's a sandstorm. Or something. So I'm gonna hit the treadmill instead, which will be super fun.
Great, so I guess best place to start, man. What was the main reason for booking in the call? And more importantly, why are we here?
Yeah, for sure. So currently in a recruitment sales position, but I'm going to be in this job at least until the end of December. Potentially until the end of January. The reason is I'm waiting for a lot of commission to come in.
Okay, got you, man. I see. So when you say you're looking for more freedom as well, I guess right now, would you say 100% ideally have that freedom to go? then?
Yeah. So he said, prior, and this is what we spoke about yesterday, of like using as much ammunition as you have prior to the call. Everything about the lead, the conversation with the setter, the call notes, everything you can get, use it. You know that this guy almost tried to cancel the call from the get-go, right? Because it wasn't a good time.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you can almost, but you're leveraging it in the right way where you're saying, well, look, Isaac, and it's almost good if you mention like, hey, I know you sent Rowan a message saying now's not the best time for you and you didn't want to necessarily look into this right now. Purpose of this call is I just want to run through with you, get an understanding of your situation, see if it even is a good fit. And then from there we can talk game plan and go over things. But ultimately the reason he can't start is his pain, right? Or the reason he doesn't want to start is pain, right? Because he's stuck in this corporate cycle.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, instead of going in like, why are you looking into this right now? You almost want to flip it and be like, well, you know, what's stopping you from looking into this right now? Because I know you said to Rowan that you wanted to kind of park this until December.
Yeah. Yeah, because when he said that, I knew that was the objection, and I wrote it down because okay, this is going to be the objection, but I didn't know whether I needed to go into it straight away or like get more pain, like to leverage essentially.
I
don't want to
almost
get stuck in the weeds.
the way I would run this call is before I pitch, before I do anything, I want to understand the root of the pain, right? What that is. Obviously, he's starting, wants the freedom, the fulfillment, the lack of time, cap on earnings, whatever it is. I know that the objection's going to be I can't start now because I've got this load of commission paying out. I want to tackle that front on and get the buy-in that, hey, like actually you're right, I do need to take steps to make a change, and that commission is just going to continue rolling forever, and that's what's keeping me stuck. I need to break that belief. Once I've broken that belief, I can then pitch everything in the right way, showing him that this is how it would work. Starting part-time, I tie in Jamie, one of our case studies, and how that worked for him and how he can get going with this, and then go into further objection handling. But I need his belief before I try to pitch or anything that, look, you're just wasting more time and you're going to be stuck hitting those same numbers in a consistent cycle.
So you would have started a bit to tackle it front on rather than going straight into okay.
Well, it's quite simple, to be honest, man. Like, I just flipped the question. I know you said to Rowan that you weren't going to look into something like this. Like, just out of curiosity, I guess, what's stopping you from looking into something like this right now? All right, wrapping up. Second workout of the day. Just an hour-ish easy ride. Although it doesn't look that easy, because my aircon doesn't really work and guys have just come around to fix it, so I'm sweating buckets. But good day. Spent most of the day on calls, which you saw a few from yesterday too. One around a new business venture I'm currently looking into and starting, help my girlfriend start, which is quite exciting, but obviously all this new tariff stuff causes complications and there's some hesitation, but I mean, that's business at the end of the day. Like, there's always going to be problems, whether it's tariffs, taxes, team members, whatever it is. There's always problems. You just got to be resourceful around solving them. Team training was another call you saw. Short snippet of some feedback I gave to one of my closers. And then I was on interviews this afternoon with setters. Setter interviews to hire for a new position. It's kind of hard to concentrate and talk whilst doing this. I'm in my last couple kilometers. But yeah, it's interesting always interviewing people, especially in the online space, because people say one thing, but like the actual reality is they've done another. So you get these applications through, and my process is quite simple. I just cross-check what they've said on the application process and get them to prove to me that it's true. You don't do it in a malicious way. It's like, okay, so you said you've done X, Y, and Z. You work for this company. How's that going? Why are you leaving the role? Cool, man. Well, is that data tracked? Do you have internal CRMs that track kind of your numbers? Yeah, all right, sure, man. If you don't mind, could you pull it up and show me? Then you know if their data is real or if they're telling the truth. And then obviously you want to check the skill set, so you have to dive in and look at the conversations they're having, see if they're any good at actually sales, which is a whole other minefield in itself. But yeah, some really strong applications. Offered one guy a role and he's excited to take it, which is sick. Seems like a great culture fit. But I guess those are the two things I look for in hiring. Do I actually like you? Do I want to spend a lot of time with you? Because I'm going to be coaching you and working with you a lot. And yeah, are you as good as you say you are? And are you authentic in that? Like, do you actually say, is what you're saying actually true? Those are the two biggest things. But yeah, busy day. Trying to squeeze this workout and it's 8:30. I'm absolutely starving. Only got one last call at 10 tonight. And then I actually think I'm back on the bike tomorrow morning to squeeze in another workout for tomorrow. But probably be the last you see of me today. See you tomorrow.
Yeah, I can share mine and you can kind of base it off that if you want. I just have like a very basic website that just has a video of me walking through like a Google document, kind of like what's the expected earnings, what's the scope of the role, what's the commitments, who we're looking for. And yeah, so that anyone can go and like, because like top closers, they're not actively looking for offers. They're already on an offer. They're already making 10, 20K. And it's like, you almost want to, if you've got a great offer and you know a good rep, if they were to come on, would kill it. You don't want a beginner, you want an experienced guy. So it's like you need to almost, it's kind of like a sales funnel, but for getting talent as opposed to trying to get clients. Yeah, so I've been running the program for 2 years now. So we've, I guess from a business standpoint, it's kind of bad because we don't currently charge like recurring or anything on our clients. It's just when someone gets in, they get in and they're still in our system, they're still in our community. So we've got over 600 reps inside that community. A lot of them have scaled up to like those bigger numbers, 20, 30K. I think some guys are pushing like 45 now. So those guys are in there. But then also we have guys that are coming and joining us like, yesterday or the day before. And they're more beginners. We have reps that like struggle within the industry, are stuck at 5K a month. And we have guys that are coming from, what our main targeting is, we target sales professionals that work in like corporate sales jobs, whether they're with big corporates, whether they're doing door-to-door, cold calling, car sales, real estate, and they want to get into the online space. We obviously did that because it's easier for us to get them results because they already have that foundation of sales. A lot of door-to-door guys are awesome because they've been told fuck off a million times. So they're pretty resilient in that sense. So yeah, we've seen a lot of guys come into the space from that traditional background that, just need a bit of fine tuning and then they're off to the races. Some of these guys have these rigid frameworks and be like, this is the best way to sell and this is it. I kind of focus on like the fundamentals and the understanding because I don't think if you don't understand something and you have to rely on a script, like you have to memorize it, that's not a good way to sell. You're not going to be good at sales if all you're doing is memorizing a sales process. You need to understand it at the ground up. So our sales training is pretty solid in that sense. And then obviously the back end focuses on hiring, how to get roles, how to vet offers, how to interview, all that stuff. And then we do daily coaching. So we have, client success managers of other closers that have been through our program that are doing big numbers, that would do calls on like objection handling, discovery, pitching, even like more niche topics like tonality, vocabulary, reframing, things like that. And then we have hiring calls as well. That one of our girls is very good at presenting ourselves on interviews and obviously applying for roles. So she runs a call to make sure everyone's applications are actually solid and they're positioning themselves in the right way. Because a lot of it is positioning. A lot of these closers don't know that the biggest sell they're going to make is selling themselves. So it's like you have to position yourself in the right way from the get-go, otherwise your application is just going to get thrown to the side. But yeah, they get access to all the jobs from the get-go, but we don't recommend they apply until they know they're ready. And our coaches have a lot of like one-to-one contact with these guys and girls to make sure that, okay, you're in a position where you should apply for a role now. Yeah, I don't believe in the whole like certification thing, to be honest, because it's kind of BS. It's like tick box, and it's like, well, somebody might take a bit longer to learn than others, and ultimately if someone's like really good and they back themselves, because a lot of it is conviction and confidence. If you have the confidence and you have the conviction that you can sell and you can present that to a business owner or a sales manager and they want to take you on, then there's a high chance you'll probably be pretty good when you get on the offer.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, to me then. Okay, because there's a few things. And send me over the hiring funnel that you have, and I'll kind of get some of the guys that I'm speaking to check that trading offer. I'll have them build something a bit more robust, and then there's a few offers I'll probably be hiring for within the next coming weeks. But that's good for me to know.
I'll send you my appointment setting one now on Yo, so it's now Sunday. I have spent the majority of my weekend sat at this desk. I did get 2 pretty big workouts in. One yesterday, which was pretty boring. I had to do 23k on the treadmill as I was at a friend's barbecue on Friday night, and I didn't drink. I didn't get home until like 11:30, so I gave myself a line, and by the time I woke up here, it was too hot. You kind of have to exercise here or start exercising by at least 6-7 a.m. at the latest. Otherwise, it's just too warm. And I didn't get up till 8 on Saturday, so I just hit the treadmill. And then this morning, I got up at 5, got going at 6:30, and managed to rack up 100 Ks on the bike. Pretty solid workout. A few intervals in there, which I was pretty pleased with for anyone that cares. I know cycling's quite a niche sport, but it was sort of 3 sessions of 220 watts, 220 to 230 watts with a 10-minute float. So 30 minutes on, 10-minute float, 30 minutes on, 10-minute float, and then a couple kind of bits in between to rack up to 3 hours and 20 minutes. So I did that early doors. It's now 1:30. I've got a couple calls this afternoon. I'm actually jumping back on sales calls. So my closers are off this weekend, or I should say our closer is off this weekend as we only have one right now. And I was like, you know what, I haven't spoken to leads in a while. I haven't been on calls in a while, so I'm probably a bit rusty, but I wanted to throw my hat in the ring this weekend. And I guess, look, obviously I want to get people started with Club Closer, but the main thing for me was I just want to understand what the quality of lead is. Are these guys actually solid? Are they good quality prospects that we can definitely help? And are they good fits what we do? I had 2 calls yesterday. They were solid, both solid guys. Didn't close anyone, unfortunately, but I've got 4 more calls today, this afternoon, so we'll see how they go. Might input a bit of footage from those calls if you guys are interested in that. Maybe that's going to come up now. But then, overall really productive week. Was on top of everything. Made 2 pretty key hires. We got a new setter with a hell of a lot of experience that I interviewed a bunch on Thursday, and I got him onboarded yesterday morning, and he's starting on Monday. And then we've got another sales rep coming on board as a closer, one of our students inside Club Closer that actually was previously on the team. It was just unfortunate circumstances where we didn't have the call volume to fill his calendar. And obviously now a lot of our sales reps have left and gone on to do bigger things. There's now an opportunity for him to come on and kind of dominate that top closer role, which I'm really excited to get him back on. He was closing at a 38% close rate in the last month he worked with us, which was about a year ago now. So really solid guy. I'm really excited to have him on the team. That's pretty much a wrap on my week. I'm not going to get up to too much. I'm just planning my week next week. I've got my mum coming to visit. I got her a trip out here for Christmas. So she's coming out for a few days, which would be good to see her. I don't think she's going to like Dubai that much, but man, we'll see. We've got a few nice things planned. And I guess I'll see you guys when I see you, probably next week.